Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Dav's Daily. And this one is going to be a quote that actually comes from, well, originally it was one of my favorite movie series of all time, but since they've kind of continued it, and it hasn't exactly been my favorite movie series of all time, but the original three are still some of my favorite. This quote actually comes from Jedi Master Yoda from the Star Wars universe, for those of you who are not Star Wars nerds like me. And I really, really like this quote. It kind of plays into some of the themes that we've been talking about in the mornings. But this is, train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. Now, in the sense of the movie, of course, it was talking about Anakin Skywalker fearing to lose the love of his life and Princess Amidala, and because of he couldn't let that fear of losing her go, he of course became Darth Vader and all the killing and all that stuff. But I think it really can, there's things that we can learn from movies that can play into our real life. And I really think that quote can play into our real life. May it be an actual, person's death, a family member, a parent, a grandparent. Maybe it is something else. Maybe it's financial, right? Losing your car, right? Losing your place that you live, or something like that that's more financial. Whatever the case may be. And it's not easy. Trust me. I am a person who values good friendship. I've learned more and more over my years to value good friendship. My early life, I didn't exactly have a good relationship with my family. It's still not great, but it is improving, and I'm learning to value my family a lot more, and what they've done for me. Now, there are some things that, unfortunately, my early life, that it's just, it's in the past, it's gone. But obviously, it still impacts us. But losing members of your family, I know when I was born after one of my grandparents had already passed, but I was very, very close to, and I didn't realize how close I was to my other two, I've got three grandparents, but two of my grandparents, they passed several years ago, and I didn't realize how close I was to them until they were gone. And it really hurt. It really sucked. It really drove me into depression, and it really crushed me. But when I think about it now, being a little bit older and a little bit more wiser, they both lived very long, very happy lives. They got to see their grandchildren grow up. They got to see their great-grandchildren grow up to a certain point. They were extremely happy. I don't even know how many years they were married. They had a farm, and they loved the country, and it hurts when you lose someone, or you lose something, but living in fear of that loss, right? Life isn't forever, right? Everyone's life ends either too soon, or whatever the case may be. Life isn't forever. Money isn't forever, right? Something bad can happen, and you might lose your home, or your car, or you might lose access to live the lifestyle you have. But at the end of the day, we can't, fearing that is overwhelming. Fearing that is something that can really drive us all insane. And I know for me, my biggest fear of losing has always came in relationships. And unfortunately, I haven't exactly had the best time in relationships. I can say I've had some good times, but overall, all my relationships have failed. And the thing that has kept me in a very depressed, unable to move on state was I didn't want it to end, right? I'm not someone who a lot of people find attractive. I'm not someone who, a lot of people go for. So this fear of being alone for my life has been an overarching fear for most of my life. And so whenever I have an opportunity to be with someone, I take full advantage of that opportunity, try to treat them well, usually go over the top in treating them, and I don't get treated well in the reverse side. But then even though I haven't been treated well, even though I was cheated on in the past, even though, I've been stolen from by people I was dating, and all that stuff, even though all that happened, I was still afraid to lose them. And that's pretty toxic. It's a pretty toxic way to live. And it was funny. I won't lie to you. I was sitting on the toilet for my morning constitutional, flipping through Instagram, and that picture of Yoda's quote came up, and I'm like, that is actually really good. And I'm going to try to approach life a little bit more in that light. I know I've done it a little bit, but that quote really hit me, and I'm like, man, I really need to start thinking about not fearing losing things that are either close to me, losing things that are important to me, and realize that tomorrow's another day, and it's another opportunity to make my life better. So think about that. Think about Master Yoda. If you're not a Star Wars fan, well, that's fine, I suppose. But it's a great quote from Master Yoda, and I think it can really play into our lives and help us live healthier lives and not get so depressed when bad things happen. Because bad things are going to happen. It's just a matter of how are you going to handle it and how are you going to get back up and keep moving. Guys, thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying this. Leave me a comment in the section below if these videos have been helping you. If you're new, please hit that like, subscribe, turn notification bells on, and I hope to see you next time on Davs Daily, while my cat is clawing up the carpet. Hey! Hey, you! Hey! Hey! She doesn't listen.